Hi, I'm Beth Goehring, the editor-in-chief of The Good Cook, and I'm here today with Melissa Clark in beautiful Park Slope, Brooklyn on a gorgeous day to talk about her new cookbook, In the Kitchen with a Good Appetite. Melissa, this book is so wonderful. All my little tags here are not for your recipes, which I'm dying to try, but for all the fabulous memories of your parents and your trips to Europe. And now, did you really feel like you were writing a memoir, or did you feel like you were writing a cookbook?
It's funny because although I knew I was writing a cookbook, I was doing the recipes, every story that I had to tell was through food.
Right.
And so when I think about my past and I think about just, anything I want to relate, my metaphor is, is food. How does that, what was I eating, or what was I hungry for, or what does this recipe remind me of?
And you have such a wonderful palate, and you have such a wonderful taste memory. I wonder how the rest of us could develop such a wonderful skill.
Well, for me, it started with my conversations around the family dinner table. We were always talking about what we were eating, and when you take a moment and you slow down and you have a conversation about it, it sets it in your memory. So I think the way to develop a taste memory is to talk about the food on your plate, and also to keep a little food diary. Just jot down what you're eating, what the flavors are, and then the next time you encounter those same flavors, they're going to be there. They're going to be really present for you.
Oh, and are you a sweet or a savory person?
Oh, sweet. I am the biggest sweet tooth in the entire world.
Yeah.
Anything with sugar, I could just go days eating sugar, which is why I think I have something like, there are 150 recipes in the book. I think 60 of them are for sweet dessert,
That's great. But there's a lot, there's so many opportunities to meld sweet and savory for a whole different taste sensation.
Right, and I love to do that. I love to combine something, a sweet flavor with a savory flavor. It's all about balance.
Right.
When you're cooking and when you're eating, you want to make sure that everything just feels balanced in the mouth, because then you know that it's all going to come together. Hey, Alan.
Hey, Melissa, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Great. Welcome to the Blue Apron.
So, what should I make for dinner? What have you got?
I got a few new products I'd love to show you.
Cool.
I just got in this new line of chutneys. There's 12 different flavors, and they're made here in Brooklyn.
Oh, cool.
And there's some really interesting ones. There's a tomatillo, there's a date chutney with some jalapeno pepper in it, so it's a little bit hot.
Are they very intense?
Really intensely flavored. Each one tastes different. And they're all made with local produce.
Oh, cool. So I do this dish where I take cauliflower and I do, a bechamel, like a cheesy cauliflower on top. Would that work if I wanted to spice up that, that soft flavor and kind of give it a little kick? If I added that right into the bechamel, what do you think?
I think you should. This one is a sweet tomato, and it's got black mustard seeds, and there's whole mustard seeds in it. It'll give it a nice little kick.
Cool. Okay, and what cheese would I use in the sauce?
I have a new bandage wrapped cheddar from California.
Oh, okay. That's like crumbly?
Like crumbly. It's got a nice. It's.
Okay. Looks good.
I think you should taste this. It's made in the English style. It's bandage wrapped.
Oh, it's so buttery. I love that.
And it'll crumble beautifully. It'll melt beautifully.
And then peas. What do you think?
Yep.
Should I
Peas
put
would be
some
good.
peas
Yep.
in there too?
Yep.
A little bit of.
Yep.
I've
A little
got
bit
my
color.
cheesy cauliflower with the tomato, and then I need like salad or vegetable, something to go with it. What do you think?
Well, if you're going to do a salad,
Yeah.
I have a great butternut squash seed oil. It's from
like,
upstate
is
New
that
York.
Like pumpkin seed oil?
Like pumpkin seed oil. It's sort of modeled after the German pumpkin seed oils.
Okay. What do you think? Bib lettuce?
Bib lettuce would be terrific.
Little vinaigrette, little sherry vinegar.
You might want to
or
roast some butternut squash and throw that in.
Yum. And then something for crunch.
Hazelnuts from Oregon. You can go right ahead and taste. Crunchy, and it'll work
Those are really good.
really nicely with the sesame oil from the sesame taste in the pumpkin seed oil.
Okay, I've got my dinner. Thank
Great.
you.
And this is what Melissa does so beautifully, is she just uses fabulous fresh ingredients. She puts them together in interesting ways, but you need a little help. And is this going to tweak my dish the right way? Your parents are a hoot.
They are a
And
hoot.
you've got to tell us the story about your dad and the scallop pan roast.
Yes, this scallop pan roast is a recipe that was inspired from the Grand Central Oyster Bar. I always would get when I was a kid the oyster pan roast. And basically it's heavy cream, a little bit of tomato paste and chili, and tons of oysters. And they just cook it down, and my taste memory of it was that it was amazing, but I really wanted to recreate a dish that had that same vibrant flavor and that creaminess. So I decided to do it with scallops. I was going to do a scallop pan roast, and I wanted to invite my parents over because this is something that we always ate as a family. So I made up this little scallop pan roast, and I was trying to remember, okay, I put a little dash of this in there, a little bit of celery seed, I put a little bit of Tabasco, and I was trying to recreate the flavors, and it was good. And I gave it to my dad, and he tasted it, and he's like, it needs something. And we're like, what can we put in? It needs brightness. And finally my dad was like, gin. Gin, right in the pan roast. He's a martini enthusiast, so it was, gin is never that far from his mind. And it was the perfect complement to the flavors. It was a little bit herbal, and it made the whole dish come together. Everything is better with gin. Like, yes, Dad, everything is better with gin.